So today we are in Bristol. We're going to take the SLC up what is one of the steepest streets in the UK with a maximum gradient of about 26 degrees. Guys, welcome back to The What Life. Let's roll. So this is Vale Street in Bristol, and I brought along with me a couple of different cameras, one of which is a 360 cam, which is going to show you just how steep this street is. It's quite short, it's about 110 meters from bottom to top. It's got a maximum gradient of about 26, 27 degrees, and it averages out at about 25. Today we're going to hammer it on the SLC, and we're going to see how we get on, and just simply whether we make it up. So we're in Bristol, and this isn't the only steep street that I've managed to find. There's tons around here, but this is the one that is notoriously referred to as one of the steepest streets in the UK. I thought it'd be a fun idea to come down, test out the new aero suit that I have from the guys at Rule 28, and use a few different kind of cameras from Insta360, because I get a few messages from people about how I film my riding, what I do to kind of capture it. I thought we'd use this as a good opportunity to show you all the little tricks of the trade that I use to just basically pick up some cycle content. So today we are using everything in the Insta360 bike bundle. It has a mount that goes underneath your GPS unit so that you can attach the 4X, which is the 360 video, which is fantastic. That's what I use for my race video when I race, and I'll be using for my chain gang videos, that sits underneath your GPS computer. Also has a chest mount, but we're not going to be using that today. And I'll be mounting the Insta4X around different locations on my bike when we do a few test runs, just so we can see just how steep it is and how many watts you need to get up it just from bottom to top. Firstly though guys, let me just show you how steep this is, and in case anyone does not believe me, I'm just going to show you, because the Insta4X, the 360, because it has such a wide lens, can show you just how steep this road actually is. This is the bottom of the street, and that should give you some idea of just how steep we are. And these guys are lugging scaffolding up and down it, which is why it sounds like a building site. But here you go. The bottom of the street is the steepest bit. It's around 26, 27 degrees, and it flattens out a bit at the top. We're going to do a few test runs just to see what it takes to get from bottom to top, not trying to hammer it, and then we'll give it one full run. I'm looking forward to this, mostly because it's 100 meters, so I don't know what that is. 25, 30 seconds of absolute pain and agony. I've already shifted it down onto the little ring, and that's probably how we're going to attack it today. Out the saddle, full blast, see what happens. So quick shout out to Rule 28, who have provided me the skin suit for today, which is going to come in handy for this elite level effort, mediocre effort, going up Bristol's steepest hill. This is where I'm mounting the Insta-X4 for the first run. We'll see what that's going to come up with. We'll do a few easy runs, warm up, and get into it, and then we'll give it a full gas effort, and I'll mount that. We'll go under the handlebars, under my GPS unit. And the little tip is, when I go racing, or when I want to get really good kind of race footage with the 4X at the front of the bike, I try and use my small GPS unit, or the smallest one that I have, which kind of lets or gives the camera more space to kind of pick up a better view. Big GPS units aren't quite so friendly if you're mounting cameras underneath them. Let's do a couple of easy runs, see what it takes to get up this bad boy. So before we dive into a few test runs, let me give you some stats coming over from Strava on this particular climb. It's listed as, or the segment is called, Another 100 Greatest Cycling Climbs. Apologies, everyone on this street seems to be doing home renovations today. It's insane, and there's nothing we can do about it, but it's listed as Another 100 Greatest Cycling Climbs, number 109. I don't know how you get 109 on 100 climbs, but there you go. Let me give you the stats on it. The leaderboard, at the top we have Jim with 15 seconds, 14.5 miles per hour, and Kern Fordham with exactly the same, 15 seconds. 15 seconds is the time to beat if you want to be number one on the segment. 16, 7, it just kind of works its way down. Interestingly, the segment starts a little bit before the street, ends a little bit over the top of the street. That's worth mentioning. As for distances and stats, vertical of 54 feet in 0.06 of a mile. I really should work in kilometers. I don't know why I have my Strava in miles, not kilometers. It's because I like running. Average grade of 16.6%. That obviously includes the downhill bit on the way into the climb, so that's probably not completely accurate for the street itself. 54 vertical feet and a distance of 0.06 of a mile. I'm not sure what that is in meters, but I will try and put that down below the actual stats in kilometers so that guys that work in Ks don't shout at me too much. 15 seconds is the kind of time to beat. Even if you are aged 35 to 44, 15 seconds is still the time to beat. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere near that. We'll see. I'm not gonna worry about it. We're going to do a few test runs, just warm up, and then I will give it a full gas effort and see what happens. I've done a few test runs. Trick, it seems, is choose your gear, hammer it, keep the speed into the corner, which is going to be fun because we've got this scaffolding lorry there. That's not a problem. We're going to scooch in. The road itself is on a bit of a camber as well. I don't know why we do these things, but it's a sunny Thursday in October, and what else have we got to do? But this is how steep it is down the bottom. It is altogether pretty steep, and also it is bearing in mind that you do need different focal lengths, different camera lengths, different zooms show different things, because in some of them it might look a bit flat, but the reality is this is how steep it is. Right, let's kit up, give this a full whack, maybe one or two. It's short and sharp, 20 seconds at the most, hopefully. That seems like an arbitrary, random time that we should be at least aiming for. I'm not good at descending at the best of times, but a short, sharp turn into a steep climb sounds like something I'm going to be terrible at. So I'm going to give it a few cracks. One probably isn't enough. We're here anyway, driven all the way down just to do this. Right, let's roll. For some reason, I thought I wouldn't be crap at this, but honestly, I think it turns out this is the crappiest thing I've ever been at. You know what I mean? I'm terrible. Can't nail the turn. If you get the gearing wrong, you're absolutely screwed because you're in the wrong gear from the start. So I'm just going to keep looping around, try and get at least one good run in. Because I can't even get the watts down because I'm just stuck. Get the gearing wrong, you're stuck. You're either, yeah. That's not your problem, it's mine. I'm going to sort it out. A few more runs. Let's do this. And the scaffolding truck is gone now, so it gives me less to worry about on the turn. But it's scary coming down a steep start into a hard turn and then into the steepest bit of the climb straight away. This is the bit I'm struggling with. You kind of come off this main road here into this road, and this is the steepest section. Screw it, let's go. Let's go! got that one completely wrong. This is peak bike influencing now. Completely messed up the gearing on that one. We're gonna go again. Right, I know what gear it is. As usual, Max, you're an idiot. At most, you probably want to allow for one gear change. God, you guys should watch Ed Laverak's channel. He's way better at this than me. Right, let's go. Brand new cleats. Obviously need to tighten them because my left one's coming a little bit loose. We do that, 2 more runs. Finally get the hang of it. We're going for the double shift after we do the steep bottom bit. I'm terrible at this. Didn't think I'd be that bad. Turns out there's a lot of nuances to doing this, and I've got none of them. And I can't tell you about any of them because I'm bad at all of them.
This is a good one. This is a good one. Beat the dogs.
All is good, I am ready to move.
That was the best one I've done yet. I honestly thought I'd turn up, come do 1-2 runs and go home. No, small little street, gotta get your gearing right. Right, that's enough. Done about a dozen, none of which have been particularly that good. But let's see what I did in terms of Strava. 20 seconds would be good. I mean, it's so short. Give me a sec. Also, worth pointing out that I mounted the little X4 on the bike twice. Once on the seat post or the seat tube, and then the other was down on the chainstay on the drive side, really far back so I didn't get in the way of my foot, which is quite a cool view, but I always get a bit nervous mounting expensive cameras onto expensive fragile bikes. But this is what I use to do it. Obviously, when I'm mounting the camera to a metal pole, you just crank it as hard as you can, make it nice and tight. On a bike, just be a little bit careful, will you? Right, it's time to see if I'm any good whatsoever when it comes to this kind of thing. My suspicion is no. Let me get it loaded up on the phone. I'm gonna do a quick Strava check. I have suspicion that the KOM is safe. Nonetheless, that was half an hour of riding around in a circle. Entirely worth it. Right, let's check it out. Oh, this is gonna be so depressing, isn't it? So it seems like my last ride was my fastest out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts that I did do. The last ride was the fastest. I didn't record one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hitting 1,000 watts, and I found it really hard to get the watts down because of the corner and then into the steep bit and then the gear change and then pushing on. I'm also not very good at this, but that's besides the point. I did find it hard to get the watts down. It wasn't like it's a steady incline and you can just go into a sprint. I think it would take a lot more practice for me to do any good at this. But nonetheless, what is my time? I had 3 times that are 22 seconds for the segment, which on the face of it is distinctly not great, but I'm all right with that, given that I found that way harder than I thought it was. The corner coming in, the steepness at the bottom, those are the small things that just made it a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. 22 seconds, max watts of 969 watts. That's it. The KOM is safe. Mr. whatever your name is, Mr. Jim and Kern, both of which male, female, 15 seconds. I'm 7 seconds behind, over 100 meters, less than 100 meters probably, which is pretty terrible, guys. Guys, thanks for sticking around. Drop any questions you have about Insta 360s, 360 footage, filming bike stuff down below, and I will get back to you. Thanks for joining in today. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'd suggest come and give it a crack. You probably will need a few turns at it. I was just basically doing a loop around a few of the streets. Left a bag down behind here, but don't tell anyone. On the plus side, I did get the participation medal of becoming the local legend just because I've done it a load of times today. Well done me. See you on the next one.